Namaste and greetings. My name is Santosha and you're on my YouTube channel, Healing the Planet from Within. I've been a Reiki Master for 23, 24 years now. And recently I've noticed that in the Reiki industry, there are too many Reiki practitioners and Reiki Masters who are relying on the Reiki symbols as a crutch. And there's a deeper, more advanced practice. And I think this is super important, especially for Reiki Masters. But anyone who is a Reiki 1 or Reiki 2 practitioner should know this. When I first learned Reiki, I learned the watered down version of Reiki, just like most people today in the Western world especially. And we were just taught the symbols. And we were taught to draw the symbol and say it 3 times. Chakare, chakare, chakare. And my Reiki master at the time even included that little push to activate the symbol. Which was fantastic. It certainly got you on the journey. And I became a Reiki master that same summer, you know. And so this is what we were taught, just to draw the symbols and say it 3 times. Now, later on, I came across another Reiki master by the name of Don Beckett in Hawaii. And he had the more advanced knowledge because he was in touch with people who went directly to Japan and met some of Usui's students who were still living at that time. And they told him, these people that at the beginning, Mikao Usui, you know, only used the spirit sounds. This is the Kotodama in order to teach Reiki. Now, as I traveled the world, you know, I was living in India for some time and I'm pretty eager to go back because I'm in Australia right now, but India has the deeper spiritual practices that I crave right now. So, but when you travel the world, you notice that in the other spiritual practices, they use a lot of sounds, mantras, chanting, and that activates a higher energy vibration. We know the sound of Om is the sound of the universe. We go a lot deeper into that. But, you know, in Reiki, we have Chokure, and the spirit sound of Chokure, the Kotodama, activates that energy vibration. And when you merge those sounds together, you're doing the same thing as drawing the symbols, right? But, you know, because Mikao Usui, he had lots of students, he changed his teaching per student. So one of his students was Dr. Hayashi, and because he was a doctor, he was more intellectually inclined. And the energy vibration, he couldn't quite understand what that was just by the sound. So apparently, this is when the symbols came out. Now, the symbols, Chokure, for instance, is seen in different places around the world, different temples and different sacred places. And it's ancient. It has the energy vibration of centuries of bringing this higher energy. But it's only there to teach you what that higher energy vibration feels like within your physical body. Okay, let me explain this. What does it feel like? What does it feel like? I mean, what does a higher vibration feel like? When we're in the lower vibration, we're in a human physical incarnation, for instance. We have to be in the lower vibration to be in this physical body, to have the experience of what it's like to be limited, to go through the struggles and misery. But then we forget what it's like to be that divine essence, that divine God self, right? The symbols, the sounds, the sacred essence reminds us what it's like to be in God's vibration, the God source energy, to be one with God. Let me see if I can describe this another way. It was a few years ago, maybe more than 10 years ago, about 10 years ago. I was still experiencing what I used to call these crash times. Now, this is a state of depression I would go into. It would come over me. I could feel this heavy fog of depression, and I would succumb to it. I would surrender to it, and I'd end up crying, curling in a ball for 1, 2, 3 hours. And this was going on for so many years, 10, 20 years, something like this. Maybe even more when I think about the time. But there was one time, I had just completed, I had finished my degree in counseling and psychology, finished my degree in Masters of Education, finished publishing a website on stress and its effect. I became aware, consciously aware of the different thought patterns. But I came across a book called Positivity, and that changed my entire functioning in the world. I started to work differently in the world since then. Now, this was based on positive psychology. There was at the time, over 300 different scientific research that proves that when you have a higher positivity ratio than negativity, your mind opens up to possibilities. Your relationship with people is more open. Everything seems to be easier. In fact, your nervous system is more relaxed. You don't have those symptoms of stress because you're in a higher level of positivity. In fact, you have more resilience. You're better at teamwork, and there's so many benefits to it. You have to read the book called Positivity. So I had just finished reading that book, and I was sitting in the cabin in the bush. This is where I lived at the time in Australia. And this fog of depression came over me like it had done on a regular basis. But this time I was remembering, oh, wait, let me just try this. I'm going to activate gratitude. And I didn't know anything, at the time. So, and when you're in a state of depression, it's very difficult to be grateful for anything because you're so much in that negative mind and that negative feeling. So the only thing I could think at the time, I'm grateful for this breath. Simplest thing. I'm grateful for breathing. And then something happened, something changed. So I'm grateful for the sound of the birds. I'm grateful for the food in the fridge. I'm grateful for this cabin that I'm living in because it was in the bush. It was really nice. I'm grateful for, my daughter. I'm grateful for, and eventually I paused, I said maybe 5 or 6 things, and I paused. And I felt like that fog of depression, it didn't come over me that day. And this is the first time, 15, 20 years that it had full control over me. I had to surrender to it. And that time, it didn't come. And I was like, this works. I don't ever have to feel that fog of depression coming over me, that state of misery, that lack of control of my life anymore. And and I've never had that since because I was like, oh, no, I'm choosing something different. I don't want this. Now, when we're working with the Reiki symbols, it's the same concept. You're activating a higher energy vibration. Now, when you sit and meditate with chokure, for instance, just that one symbol, and in Mikao's students, they would sometimes work with one symbol for months or years until they knew the energy essence of that symbol. Without using the symbol or the Kotodama, they could activate it within their body. And so they're not using the symbols as a crutch. They're using the symbols and the Kotodama as a learning tool, what that vibration feels like in the body. So for instance, instead of I was feeling depressed, I activated gratitude. So I didn't have to feel that depression anymore. The Reiki symbols are ancient, spiritual, sacred energy vibrations of the God source. And it instantly teaches you how to feel that on an everyday basis. Well, maybe not instantly, over time. It depends on how much you work with it. So instead of using the Reiki symbols as a crutch and relying on drawing this chokure, you feel the essence in your physical body. Let me give you an example. Just yesterday, I was working with my Reiki Master student, and we do these sessions online. He's done Reiki Master, or he's done his Reiki 1 and 2 in California, and he came across me on YouTube, just like you're seeing me now on YouTube. And we had a session, and then he signed up to do my Reiki Master program. Now, he had just completed Reiki 1 and 2 because all my Reiki Master students must go through and learn the deeper version of the Reiki 1 and 2 because many people receive the watered down version, and I want all my Reiki Masters to have the advanced knowledge. So he just finished his Reiki Master attunement, and I asked permission, you know, on the Zoom call, may I just tune into your energies for a minute and just see how the attunement has settled into your energy matrix. And he gave permission, because it's important to seek permission when you're doing energy healing, because then you have more access to the knowledge of what they carry. And I work with people on a variety of levels as an energy healer, women who are really stuck in toxic patterns that they've been carrying since their childhood or family lineage or even a past lifetime, and to shift that. And the only way to shift it is to ask permission first. Because it goes really quite deep in the origins, and you don't have access to it without that permission. So that's another story, right? When you come in, you're training with me, you'll learn this on a deeper level. So I asked him permission if I could tune into his energy, and of course he said yes. So I'm tuned in. I went into a trance state energy vibration, trance state of mind, and I can tune into his energies, and I could see that the Reiki Master attunement hasn't totally come into his energy being. So sometimes this happens if a person didn't settle during an attunement. They weren't in the higher vibration state. They call it in, but then they suddenly got up and did the dishes or something. It takes a bit of time in that sacred energy space to allow it to sink into your energies. So in that moment, I held space so it could enter into his energy vibration, into his physical body, into his state of being. And then I saw the energies, you know, the light energies activate all the chakras and going down and cleared and grounded. And I could see everything that was going on. And as I could see it, I would speak it. Now, it's about 5 or 10 minutes later, I come out of trance state and I reconnected with him in this, you know, world on Zoom. And I said, how are you feeling? And he says, that was amazing. Everything you said is what I saw. He saw it and I spoke it after. And he says, that was amazing. I said, yeah, that's because I was, you know, connected with you, you know. And I said, and I asked him, I challenged him on this. Did I use the symbols? Did I use the Kotodama before as I was doing this, as I tuned in? He said, no, because I have that energy essence, that knowledge of that higher vibration of Chokurei, Seihei Ki, Honsho, Zei Shonen, already activated. So my intention was there. Chokurei is the higher energy vibration, that God source, the power, the clearing, the healing. Seihei Ki, of course, we know is the emotions, the clearing of the emotions, the feelings. So any stuck trapped emotions that he may have had that stopped his physical being from blending with this higher source energy, it's instantly transformed with Seihei Ki. And Honsho, Zei Shonen, of course, we stepped beyond time and space, and I was with him in that room, and he said it felt like you were actually there. I was like, yeah, but I didn't draw the symbols, did I? No, I didn't tone the Kotodama. No, it's because I built a relationship with these energy essence to the point that it's so familiar with me. I'm in love with them, such deep love and respect for this energy vibration that's the God source, and it instantly is there. So if you're using the watered down version of Reiki, you rely on the Reiki symbols. You use them on a regular basis. You're driving down the road and you want protection, you'll throw up a Reiki symbol, which is fantastic, by the way. It really works. And still sometimes I'm using the symbols because it's like, oh yeah, Reiki symbol, you know. I was bicycling. I spend most of my time in Tirunamalai, Tamil Nadu in India. And I was on my bicycle going down the road, and I felt something come towards me. Someone might have thought something. It was a thought form coming about lack of safety, not safety, no safety in that. And I was like, and I threw up a Reiki symbol and I kept going, you know. I was like, okay, instant safety, you know. It's necessary to be consciously aware of the thoughts and be active with them, be actively involved with them. But it raises the level of vibration instantly. So the symbols are useful. I mean, you walk into a room and something's not right, you throw up chokore, right? If you feel like raising your level of vibration, especially as a Reiki master, please tell me if you're a Reiki master that you're doing your own Reiju on a regular basis. Now, the Reiju is the attunement style, the original form that comes from Mikao Usui. You're doing it on a regular basis, yes? You have to feel that intuition, and then suddenly you feel like you need to do Reiju, you do it, yeah? It's so important as a Reiki master to keep doing this for yourself. You've got the tools and techniques. Of course you do it. Mikao Usui did it on his students on a regular basis. It was not just a once-off attunement to get into a level. It was regular because Reiki is a path to enlightenment, to a higher level of vibration. It's the path to samadhi. It's one path to samadhi. You know, there's many. There's a few, at least. I mean, we know the practice of yoga is watered down in the Western world as well, but geez, that's a different story, guys. I don't want to go off on that one for right now. So just know, if you're a Reiki practitioner right now and you're using the symbols all the time, take some time to become familiar with how that chokore, just start with one symbol at a time, feels in your physical body. So here's a technique I would like you to practice. All right, here's a technique I encourage you to try, is to sit in meditation. You can draw chokore on a piece of paper beforehand or just activate it into your palms and hold it there while you're in meditation. And you know, use the Kotodama. Hopefully you've learned the Kotodama. If not, you really need to do Reiki with me. Seriously. I've got the courses. It's very easy. You know, we get you enrolled and you've got access to the course instantly. So do the symbol and pay attention to the feeling before and after using the symbol. You notice there's a particular feeling within your physical body. You feel that soft, gentle feeling of peace, love, joy in your heart center. And then it grows throughout your entire being. And you're in that vibration of infinite love, expansive reality. You can feel that. I'm feeling it right now. I'm hoping you can feel it right now if you're tuning in. You can feel it there. Now, this feeling that I'm feeling right now is chokore. Now, if you're walking down the street, you can have the thought in your mind that you're going to feel chokore. And the more you work with this energy, the more you're walking down the street with it, standing the bank line with it, talking to friends, having a cuppa, going to different locations, and the more you feel that or activate, build that relationship with that energy, the more it becomes permanent in your reality. Now, this gets more expansive. Because once you do chokore, of course, then you're going to be pretty keen to feel the energy vibration of Seiki, Honsho Zei Shonen, the Reiki Master symbol, and there are so many more energies to play with. So don't limit yourself to just these symbols, or no, don't even limit yourself to symbols. You know, walk into a room and start to feel the energy vibrations of something else. Like, I don't know, what is this right now? This is my mic bag. What does this feel like? What's the energy vibration of this? And what's the energy vibration of that trinket your ex-boyfriend gave you? It's sitting on the bookshelf over there. What's that energy vibration? You know, clear it, get rid of it. Don't hold any lower energy vibration in your energy, in your energies and in you. You know, there's so many techniques to do this. Okay, but just start with using the Reiki symbols in meditation. Feel the energy vibrations of that. Raise your level of vibration to these higher sources, and then you don't need the symbols anymore. Don't use them as a crutch, only use them as a learning tool. Okay, so my name is Santosha, Carmen Santosha, but I prefer Santosha because it's a Sanskrit name that means contentment and peace. Also, it's one of the steps in the 8 limbs of Patanjali. 8 limbs of Patanjali, which is the path to enlightenment, yamas, niyamas, Santosha. And this name came to me in a meditation years ago, and I started taking it on board, and then I actually changed it legally. So I'm known as Santosha, and I prefer it. So as a Reiki practitioner, just to sum up the whole video, don't use the Reiki symbols as a crutch. Use them as a learning tool to raise your level of vibration and step into that higher power. If you're using them as a crutch, that's completely fine. It's the beginning stages of the spiritual journey. If you want to deepen your spiritual journey, you want to improve your life, start using them as a learning tool instead of a crutch, and it will teach you the advanced. Oh, so much fun. Okay, thank you so much for watching. It's amazing connecting with you. I'm going to direct you now to my website, Healing the Planet from Within, where you can connect with me in person and work with me to learn Reiki or energy healing, mysticism, or even if you are an energy healer, I have a business online success strategies program to get you online. But most importantly, I want you to pay attention to my YouTube channel, because I'm just about to do something amazing. Well, let's hope so. And for those of you, if you watch the end of this video, you'll know this. I am going to start healing my eyes, and all the practices I talk about have transformed my life to this stage at this point in time. But I won't even want to deepen this. I want to get rid of my glasses, heal my eyes. And I've worn glasses since I was 14. I think that's when I first got my glasses. And they keep getting worse. And so if I can work on them and do all the practices that I teach people and not wear glasses anymore. Okay, so give you about a month or two after you finish watching the video. If it's been a month or two, please go and search for my success video on YouTube and see that I've actually done it. I'm hoping you enjoy my journey, and I'm hoping that everything you learn from me that will improve your life. You don't need to be in struggles and misery. You can take your life to the next level. I know you can do this because I've done it. Okay, namaste. Hey, here I am in India right now, and I'd really appreciate you to come on my journey with me. Click down here, the subscribe button. That would be super great. Thank you so much. And then wander over here and click the comment. Make a comment, click the bell button, and follow me on this journey. Come on my journey with me. Let's deepen our spiritual journey together. You can see I've done this short hair. Thanks for subscribing, guys. Namaste.